So who is the hardest EVERDARK boss in Elden NEIGHTREIGN? Now, Elden NEIGHTREIGN definitely made every single Night Lord harder with their EVERDARK versions. But I want to talk about which one is the hardest between these guys. Now, a few things to keep in mind is, at the point I'm making this video, the only advanced bosses are the ones in the base game and balancers. We have not gone advanced Heal, Store, Dreadlord. I'm hoping we get those, but it's not likely, so they're not included in this video because they're not out yet if they do eventually come out. Now, another thing is, I will not be including Deep on Night. This will just be normal Elden Ring. Deep on Night will have a completely different ranking that I might make, but this will just be normal Elden Ring NEIGHTREIGN. The base game, you can choose which boss to fight, and I'll be going by how hard every single boss is. I won't waste any more of your time. Let's just get into the list. Number 8, I have Sentient Pest. Now, I used to overestimate these guys a lot. I made a video not too long ago where I said these guys are top 5 hardest, and I'll be honest, I have no idea what I was thinking. These guys are the only boss that I think you could even argue they're easier than the normal version, simply because they are missing that move where they charge at you. That move is very difficult to dodge on most characters because it does insane damage, there's magic coming at you, everything at once. Now, this fight I believe is much harder on solos compared to teams, just because in teams you can have one person take aggro off the flying bug, and that can really help with you dealing with the scorpion, and you will basically be killing Animus, the third bug, through basically beating up the scorpion. For most characters, if you're playing like a Recluse or Revenant or maybe a Duchess or Iron Knight, you can get some shots in Animus, but you're mostly going to be doing damage to him through the other bugs, right? And the bug I usually beat up is just the scorpion. His moveset's pretty simple. He takes a good amount of bleed, he takes a good amount of frost, and Animus also takes a really good amount of frost or bleed. So if you have somebody distracting the flying bug and 2 of your other teammates are just wailing on the scorpion while Animus is inside him, this fight will honestly be as easy as it can get. Even if you're solo, just keep focusing on the scorpion, maybe build some status effects on him, and you will win the fight before you know it. Next up, I have Advanced Augur. Now, this is the only EVERDARK boss that I have seen people call boring. So, I mean, that just goes to how difficult this is. Now, I will say this, he does have some difficult moves that can get you, and this is a pretty long fight, probably the longest EVERDARK fight, so I do understand if someone does die to it. But overall, his moveset is pretty simple. He does not do a lot of attacks. There's honestly just a lot of downtime in this fight. Now, in terms of enjoyability, I actually do quite like this fight. I think it's a very beautiful fight. I think it probably has the highest spectacle in all of Elden Ring NEIGHTREIGN, at least when it comes to EVERDARK bosses, or at least one of. But it's not very hard. He doesn't have a lot of moves. He just kind of takes damage. He has one difficult move and not really much. Number 6, I have Advanced Caligo. Now, this boss is a weird one because she does not get any new moves besides one nuke, but what she does get is all her moves getting way bigger and way more explosives, and there's basically constant frostbite in the arena. So you have to manage your heroes better than you did in the original Caligo. Oh, and of course I can't forget about the main gimmick of the fight. She gets a piece of armor which you have to constantly break the armor in order to do good burst damage to Caligo. Now, I think this fight will be extremely easy or extremely hard for you. It all depends how good you are against original Caligo. If you feel like you are good at original Caligo, you will probably be good at this fight. But if you feel like original Caligo is a struggle for you, or you don't really enjoy the fight, you struggle dodging her moves, this fight will definitely be hard. The nukes have gotten bigger, she does more damage, she lasts longer, on top of that there's a lot of frostbite around the arena. So this is definitely a hero best moss for people, but I don't personally find it that hard, but I know some people that really struggle against her. Number 5, I have the Advanced Balancers. Now, this fight is pretty interesting because first time I fought them, I thought they were the absolute hardest Night Lord EVERDARK ever because of simply how different the fight is. This fight is the most different out of every single EVERDARK boss you have gone so far. Usually EVERDARK bosses mostly have the same moves but only get a few new gimmicks to spice things up, right? This fight is completely different. Even the way you fight it is different. You don't fight this boss the same way you fight the original Balancers. And honestly, I believe that's what throws a lot of people off. During the original Balancers fight, what you want to do is all spread out and fight a different one. For this one, you all need to focus on the same one, or the fight is basically lost. So actually seeing my first attempt of fighting these guys on screen, and I was kind of lost. I still hadn't figured out the gimmick. But as you figure out the gimmick, you honestly find out how simple this fight can be. And the Worm Face, even though it can be extremely jarring at first, you realize you can just outrun the nuke. And the attacks are honestly pretty easy to dodge if you're jumping them. This fight is, I feel like, the perfect example of a boss. Once you learn, they're very simple, but on initial fight, they're probably the hardest and most shocking fight in the entire game. Number 4, I have Advanced Fulgur. Now, Advanced Fulgur, I feel like he doesn't get like that much harder, but the reason I struggle with him more than the boss I have under him is because he gets completely new moves. Like, his move is almost completely different. Now, it's not like the balancers where his move is different, but there's like a gimmick to do and you'll do good at him, right? His moveset's different and you just kind of have to raw dog the fight, which honestly does mess me up because I was already never good at original Fulgur. I don't think I'm necessarily bad at him, but I just wasn't as good as some other fights. So having to learn an entirely new moveset, and these moves are extremely explosive. They can do a ton of damage to you and burst you down. With all of those in mind, I really do struggle with this fight. Now, it is one of my favorite fights in the game, so I don't really mind getting stuck on him or the struggle. I think his difficulty is one reason I personally enjoy him a lot. But it is definitely something that I do struggle with compared to the bosses I have under him. I feel like the new moves compared to how hard he already was makes him one of the harder fights in Elden Ring. And even though I don't feel like he got that much harder than the original Fulgur, he is still definitely a decent challenge. Number 3, I have Advanced Gaping Gel. Now, this fight has always been a struggle for me, and I think it's not a bad thing. I really do appreciate what they did with this fight, and this fight has honestly grown on me a lot ever since I first gone against it, but it is a very difficult fight. Not only does this guy have so many nuclear attacks that if you get hit by, you just take so much damage. He has so many grab attacks, and his gimmick of going inside a tornado or you instantly die can be very difficult, especially because it's a pretty enclosed space and he can do a lot of damage to you. And he does real quick big bursts of lightning damage around him. So if you are mid attack or if you don't get a chance to get away, he will just instantly burst you down. You could also get really bad RNG and not spawn on a Spirit Spring and get stuck in the tornado and just die outside of his storm, I'm gonna call it. He's overall just a great package of a lot of things that make it hard. He has a pretty hard moveset. He does a lot of damage. He has a lot of explosive grab attacks that are pretty consistent. Now, if you play Undertaker and you know his grab attacks, it honestly won't be so bad. You'll get constant ult resets. But if you don't know his grab attack timing, this fight will just basically be impossible for you. On top of that, his poison weakness is not as prevalent in this fight compared to his original fight, especially once he enters his second phase in the EVERDARK version. You basically won't even notice your poison, if I'm being honest with you. But overall, I think it's a great fight, but it's definitely a hard one. He does have a lot of things going for him that make him harder than most other bosses on this list. I think it's not really a surprise to anyone who the top 2 are. Now, I've seen different rankings of the advanced boss and difficulty all over the place. Every ranking has been different, but the one thing that's always been consistent are the top 2. And at number 2, I have Advanced Gladius. Now, this guy is an absolute problem. When I think about a difficult boss, I think about this guy. Now, he's a great fight. He's a fantastic one. I really do enjoy him, but he is the definition of a problem. This guy does so much. Not only does he have a crazy amount of new moves, he does so much damage, and he is absolutely relentless. This guy gives you almost no breathing room, and if one of your teammates makes a mistake, he just gets that much stronger. He already does so much damage. He already has more one-shot potential than any other boss, especially in normal Elden Ring. Don't even get me started in Deep on Night how crazy he can be. But even in normal Elden Ring, he can one-shot you. And if your teammate makes a slight mistake to hit him while he's in that stance, he just gets even more deadly. This guy is absolutely impossible to deal with. He has so many hard moves. And after he turns to 3 dogs, he's just all over the place. He's just a crazy fight. Like, it's a great fight. I'm not going to sit here and it's not. But it is incredibly hard. But number 1, I'm sure it's genuinely not a surprise to anyone. I have Advanced Libra. This guy might be the hardest boss From Software has ever made, to be honest. He is an absolute problem. He has so many gimmicks that make him so incredibly hard. I don't even know where to get started. Number 1, the amount of Condemned that this guy can summon is absolutely relentless. If you are not killing the Condemned immediately, you might be looking at a 3v9 situation. It is crazy how many you can summon at once. Now, this fight does get easier the less people you have. I think if you have 1 person, it's actually quite manageable. It's really not that bad. But if you are going into this fight with 3 people, you need to have 3 good teammates that are able to handle the invaders as they come. Now, the invaders are not even the only issue. Libra himself has so many gimmicks that can make him difficult, such as splitting the arena. Splitting the arena can really fuck you up, especially if you're trapped with other condemned and Libra. I've had one person literally be trapped with 3 people while the other 2 are just waiting for something to happen. The gimmick where you get rid of half your health, the one where you can't heal or use a level. This guy says so many things going on in this fight that I just do not know how anyone can say he is not one of the hardest bosses that From Software has ever made. Now, I want to thank everyone that fully watched this video. I really do enjoy talking about Elden Ring. It's probably one of my favorite topics to talk about right now. This game is just so much fun for me. I can't stop playing it. I can't stop talking about it. So I really appreciate people watching my stuff, so I have an excuse to talk about it more. Now I have other Elden Ring videos, so if you're interested in this game, make sure to check out my other videos. I have a lot of stuff on it. It's one of my favorite things ever. And once again, thank you to everyone that fully watched this video.